Hello, and welcome to the gojenn podcast. I'm your hostess, gojenn, and today is May the 6th, because Friday was May the 4th be with you, and yesterday was Cinco de Mayo, so that makes today plain old May the 6th. I don't think it's any great, wonderful holiday celebration. Isn't that sad? It's kind of like a letdown after 2 days with fancy names and then just nothing. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. This is the 152nd episode of the gojenn podcast. It's a bi-weekly podcast where I talk about crochet, knitting, the keto diet, my bullet journal, and anything else that happens to be going on, camping, just all kinds of stuff. So I hope that you will pull up a chair, grab your favorite beverage and your crafting, and watch along with me today. I was going to say, since my last podcast, I've had quite an eventful time. We did have our city elections on May 1st, and my son-in-law was running for re-election for city council, and I worked at the polls, one of those horrible people who jumps out at you and says, vote for me, vote for me. So I was jumping out saying, would you please vote for my son-in-law? And, making the point, hey, if his mother-in-law is willing to come out and support him, he couldn't be but so bad, right? So he did. He did win his re-election, and I'm very happy for him. And I know he and my daughter and my grandson and me, we're all really happy that it's over with. So he's in for another 4 years, and we'll see what's going on after that. While I was at the polls, it's almost gone away now. Can you see where I got stung or bitten or something on my ring finger? Ugh. At first it was really swollen, but now it's gone back down to about normal. I can put my wedding ring back on because it was really squishing it. Who else can get an election-related injury but me? So let's see. If you want to find me, you can find me as gojenn, Gojenn, on Ravelry and on Instagram. So you can go either place, friend me, like me, do follow, whatever you have to do, and I will follow you back. If you do on Ravelry, you don't have to even friend me. You can just go look at my project pages to see the kinds of things that I make. So for this, which is a new month as far as the Harry Potter Knitting and Crochet House Cup, that's a lot to say, and even HPKCHC, that's a lot. So it's just Harry Potter, which is a game on Ravelry that gives you prompts and incentives, homework, imaginary points that you can earn for your crafting. Let me show you my favorite. This is my first. Oh my, it's not going to do good. I'll put a photograph of it in at the end. I'll do a little slideshow of my recent projects. This is about the only one to show you. Everything else has been blanket squares or me working on my Tunisian 10-stitch blanket. I want to make an entire blanket of the pattern is the Moorish, Moorish, Mosaic by Lisa Naskrent, I think. I have loved it since it first came out years and years and years ago. I started one in a light sport weight yarn when it first came out. And I quickly gave it up because the pattern is nearly all single crochet. There are a few doubles, but all these rows, row your boats, singles with some increases. Then of course I do have some double crochet clusters. I couldn't figure out what I was saying there. But I think it is beautiful. I'm planning to just use up my worsted. These are worsted weight yarns, mostly Vanna's Choice worsted weight acrylics. I don't often do a blanket that's not acrylic because I want it to be able to go in the washing machine and be washed. So I did that. I've made one. And my plan is to make 1 or 2, maybe 3 a month. I think you have to have 24 of them. I can't remember right now from the pattern. And then you have to make little squares and triangles that go in between the motifs for joining. It's going to be a real wow to get it finished. This is the latest on my 10-stitch Tunisian. I don't know if I have really done a whole lot since last time I talked to you, because this week in particular, since Tuesday was election day, I just love it though. I love it. And I'm using up all my little mini skeins, sock yarn mini skeins. And what this will be is 4 or 5 or 6 or 9, I don't know yet, of these squares joined together. But for right now, I'm just working on, I think this is my 3rd big, maybe 18 inches square that I'm working on. And that's just a fun kind of thing to do when I need a break from other things. But as I was going to say earlier, I remembered with Tuesday, the 1st of May being election day, I was so exhausted. I was so exhausted. My feet were aching. My back was aching. I'm used to sitting in a chair in an office for 9 hours a day. So, whew. Plus, I mean, the injury, right? So, I did not craft for 2 days. I know, just hard to believe. I have been reading. I think when I talked to you last time, I had finished the book by Orest Stelmach, Stelmach, about the Ukrainian woman living in New York City. Her name is Nadia Tesla, and the things that she finds herself getting into, which was all kinds of things there. I don't want to give anything away in case you decide to give it a try. It is not as gruesome. The Harry Hole series that I had been reading by Joe Nesba, that got kind of gruesome with the things that the murderer would be doing, and I was even a little concerned for our hero. With this book, the first one was Altar Girl, and it is a prequel to the series. I never felt like she was in any real danger of being killed. Emotionally abused, sure. Physically abused, maybe, but not killed. So that's kind of good in a thriller. So after I finished Altar Girl, I then read The Boy from Reactor 4, which is the first in his trilogy. So I have finished that, and these I'm reading on the Kindle, and now I haven't started it yet, but I've downloaded The Boy Who Stole from the Dead, and it's the second in the series. So I am enjoying it. It is fascinating to learn all the things about Ukrainian culture, and Eastern European culture, the immigrants, and first generation Americans. So I am truly enjoying that. I am listening to on Audible. Did I not write it down? I didn't write it down. I know what it is. Wizard's First Rule by Terry Goodkind, or Goodkind, I'm not sure. But anyway, that is one of those epic, wizards and evil and good and that kind of thing. And I'm listening to that, so I'm enjoying that as well. Reading really makes me happy. I like to learn new things, and reading a fictional story is a good way to do that. Speaking of learning things, I do live in Virginia, right on the border with North Carolina, and consider myself a Southerner. And of course, William Faulkner is one of the great Southern authors. And I've read some of Faulkner. I never had to read it for school or in college, so I've never had anybody explain it to me. So I think I'm getting in a real Faulkner mood. That was just totally out there, but I'm really feeling like I want to read more Faulkner. I would really like a teacher to sit with me and explain to me what on earth he's saying. Okay, let's see. Other news. I think I've spoken to y'all before about one of my favorite podcasts, which is Andrea Mills TV here on YouTube. And she is a mom in Wyoming. Yeah, Wyoming. And she's a homeschooling mom, and she's been expecting her 9th baby and just had her this week. I was so excited because I've been checking, several times a day. Have you had the baby yet? Have you had the baby yet? And I know how frustrating that is because you're like, no, but I'm ready. But so she had her a 9th baby girl Hannah this week. If you would like to go check her out, I really recommend it. She's very smart, down to earth. She knows what is important to her. She and her husband seem to be doing a great job raising their children. And I just enjoy. She does vlogs of their weekly life, and I'm just amazed at anybody. I remember how crazy overwhelmed I felt with 2 small children. 9, which this one was just born, and the oldest just turned 16, and he got his driver's license. So that is that. I showed you my craftiness, which was my Moorish mosaic We are going camping again next weekend, so I probably will take a little video or whatever. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing, try following me on Instagram, because I do try to post that. You know, just a video, if anything, art-wise or anything like that. I am still doing the ketogenic diet, and I'm trying not to feel that it's a diet, because you know, a diet is something you think that, oh, well, when I'm done with this, when I reach my goal, I can eat anything again, and I can't. I don't think. I think I'm at that point where I may have trouble with my blood sugar. My husband's a diabetic. I don't want to be diabetic, so that's what I've been trying to do. And at this moment, I have a loaf of non-wheat flour bread in the oven. It is made with almond flour and eggs and coconut oil, and we'll just see. It's supposed to bake for an hour, so I will be sure and put photographs here at the end when I do my little slideshow. I like to do that so that you can see any, you know, still photos without me having to come back in and drop them where they belong. That is just way too much trouble for me. So anyway, as I said, follow me on Instagram if you want to keep up on a more current basis. I know a couple of you have said that you miss my weekly podcasts, and I'm not ruling that out as something that I might do, because I miss doing it. Last Sunday all day I was thinking, I'm not doing the podcast. What am I doing? So we'll see. And I may pop in and do a bullet journal planning video. Who knows? So stick around. Be sure to like. That's a thumbs up. And subscribe. And that way you, if you click the little bell next to the subscribe button, right down there, then you'll be notified anytime I upload new content. I watch one of the keto doctors I'm subscribed to. He always says that if you click the little bell to that, you'll be notified anytime I have a great idea. So do that, and then you'll know if I have a great idea. At any rate, I hope you all have a wonderful week until the next time I see you. And until then, I wish you nothing but love and laughter.